Welcome back. This is our performance task day 1. It is for our iLearn test for a practice. This is just practice. So we are going to practice the iLearn performance task, and this is in our Google Classroom in the Writing tab. When you click on the slides with your name on them, we'll see that on day number 1, there are 3 parts. It says 3 parts on the first slide. Read or watch the 2 advertisements. Remember to take notes about each source and answer the question that follows. And every single performance task, no matter if it's persuasive, or informative or a narrative, doesn't matter. We always start with notes, line down the middle, source 1, source 2. So when it's your turn to take notes, I want to make sure that's exactly the same way that you start. Line down the middle, source 1, source 2. Now I'm helping you with this part, so we know that it is a practice. This is not the real iLearn performance task, so there is no reason to be tearful or upset. This is just practice to get us ready for the real performance that comes up in March and April. Plenty of time to practice. So we know this is persuasive. We're trying to convince somebody of something. When I go to the second slide, I see that there's a rubric here. My notes are worth 4 points. Source 1, source 2, that's going to be 4 points. My yes ma'am answer will also be 4 points. So that's going to be a total of 8 points I can earn today. Part number 1 says I have to read the sources, read the directions, take notes, answer the question or questions, then I'm done. Every part 1 is always the same. This is the order we go in. We read it, we take the notes, we answer the question. That's what I expect from you today. I see that source number 1 says pizza for school lunch. So I bet source number 1 is going to be convincing or persuading someone to have pizza for school lunch. Source number 2 is actually an advertisement about Poopsie, a toy. They are convincing or persuading the buyer to purchase this toy. Your job is going to be to take notes on source 1 and source 2. I'm going to ask to pause the video at this point so that everybody can stop, read the source, and watch the video and take their notes. Once everyone has had time to do that, you'll unpause the video and I'll show you what I would write for my notes. So after you have had time to read the article about pizza and watch the ad about Poopsie, hopefully you took a preview look at the question. What is the author's purpose of the source? Choose either source 1 or source 2 in your explanation. Use evidence to justify your response. So when I saw this part about the author's purpose, I wanted to think, what were they persuading about? What were their strategies to make me want to do the pizza thing or do the Poopsie thing? So these are the notes that I took. Source number 1, I said the author states their opinion right away. School menu needs a makeover, a daily pizza options. The reasons that they gave said every kid loves pizza, it can be healthy, it can be fast and easy, and then they wrapped it up to review, pizza should be served at lunch every day. Source number 2, I watched the Poopsie ad and I wrote, it's a catchy song to get the listeners' attentions. The reasons, they said it's magical, that there is slime. They said it changes colors, you can collect them, and there are over 20 surprises. All of this flashy stuff was in the ad. I knew that kids will definitely want it because it looks fun, flashy, and funny. I did not have to take a ton of notes. This whole process should take about 10 minutes for source 1 and source 2. Now you are prepared on your own without the teacher or me in the room to write your own yes ma'am answer. You're going to restate, back it up, explain, and wrap it up. And you're going to pick one of these sources, either about pizza or Poopsie. Pick one and tell me, how do you know that the author is trying to convince us of something? How do you know the author wants to convince us about pizza? How do you know that the author wants to convince us to buy Poopsie? Whichever one you choose, I need you to prove it, explain it, and wrap it up. This is worth 8 points today. Then you should stop at slide number 6.